Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Financial Podcast with me, Olivia. Today, we're delving into a truly captivating saga unfolding at the highest echelons of power, a drama that feels less like real-life politics and more like a gripping multi-season thriller. This is a story of ambition, loyalty, unexpected alliances, and sharp betrayal, all playing out at the volatile intersection of immense personal wealth and profound political influence. It's a narrative that has gripped millions, prompting constant dissection of every public utterance and every hushed leak from within the most powerful corridors. We're talking about the now infamous and increasingly acrimonious feud that has erupted between a prominent tech titan, Elon Musk, and a sitting president, Donald Trump. A relationship that has, in what feels like mere moments, plummeted from effusive mutual praise to open, unreserved hostility. This escalating drama truly took a shocking turn, with reports detailing a physical altercation right in the very heart of the Capitol's power structure. Imagine, if you will, a scene typically reserved for dramatic cinematic portrayals, but instead it unfolded within the actual, hallowed hallways of the White House. A scuffle involving the well-known billionaire Elon Musk and the Treasury Secretary Scott Bessant. This incident, which reportedly occurred in mid-April of 2025, happened just steps from the Oval Office, an area typically associated with the utmost decorum, high-stakes policy discussions, and certainly not physical confrontations. The underlying tension between these two powerful figures, Musk and Bessant, had been simmering for some time, culminating in a particularly heated meeting inside the Oval Office itself. In this pivotal meeting, Elon Musk, who was serving at the time as the head of the Department of Government Efficiency, and Treasury Secretary Bessant, had presented starkly competing proposals to President Trump regarding the crucial appointment of an acting commissioner for the Internal Revenue Service. Ultimately, President Trump chose to back Treasury Secretary Bessant's preferred candidate, a decision that clearly did not sit well with the tech magnate. The frustration stemming from the significant policy setback seemingly became the immediate catalyst for the subsequent eruption of tempers and the ensuing physical confrontation. As the two men, Elon Musk and Scott Bessant, exited the Oval Office and began walking down a West Wing hallway, the atmosphere between them grew palpably charged. What initially began as a sharp verbal exchange quickly spiraled out of control. Insider accounts recount that the Treasury Secretary directly confronted Elon Musk, leveling biting accusations at him, calling him a fraud, and unequivocally, a total fraud. This scathing criticism wasn't delivered without context. It was reportedly tied to the tech titan's perceived failure to deliver on a significant promise he had made to identify and eliminate a staggering $1 trillion in wasteful government spending. This accusation, striking at the very core responsibility of Musk's role within the administration, evidently struck a raw nerve.
The verbal jabs very rapidly escalated into a physical confrontation. According to multiple consistent accounts from those close to the situation, Elon Musk allegedly rammed his shoulder into the Treasury Secretary's ribcage like a rugby player. This sudden, forceful, and clearly aggressive contact prompted an immediate and equally forceful retaliation from Secretary Bessant, who reportedly struck back. The scene, undoubtedly shocking to anyone present, quickly drew the attention of nearby aides and other individuals who happened to be in the vicinity. They were forced to intervene swiftly and decisively, physically separating the two men as the altercation dangerously approached the National Security Advisor's office. Following the swift intervention and the cessation of the fight, Elon Musk was reportedly escorted out of the West Wing, a clear and undeniable signal of the gravity of the situation and the immediate fallout from the incident. News of the unprecedented brawl quickly reached President Trump. His reaction, according to those close to him and privy to his private remarks, was a terse but telling statement. This is too much. While the administration later attempted to downplay the incident publicly, characterizing it as merely a disagreement and describing it as a normal part of any healthy policy process, the severity of the detailed reports, particularly those recounting the physical aspects of the confrontation, painted a very different and far more serious picture. This highly public and dramatic confrontation marked a profound and undeniable turning point in what had initially been presented as a promising, albeit unconventional, alliance between the president and the influential tech figure. The roots of this rapidly deteriorating relationship extend far deeper than just this single shocking incident. Elon Musk had initially been brought into the administration with considerable fanfare and high expectations, tasked with spearheading the Department of Government Efficiency, an experimental and ambitious initiative designed to inject the disruptive, efficiency-focused ethos of the tech industry directly into federal operations. He arrived with bold and far-reaching promises, most notably the aforementioned commitment to uncover and eliminate massive amounts of government waste. However, his aggressive, often unconventional, and at times seemingly dismissive tactics quickly alienated many seasoned political operatives and long-serving government hands within Washington. For example, early in his tenure, Musk reportedly issued a sweeping directive requiring all federal employees to submit weekly achievement reports without any prior consultation with existing White House staff or established bureaucratic channels. This move reportedly caused significant private frustration among the president's aides, who viewed it as a blatant disregard for established processes and norms. Beyond these internal operational disagreements, there were also significant and highly public policy clashes that contributed to the growing chasm. Early in April, President Trump unveiled a sweeping new tariff policy aimed at radically rebalancing international trade. While many nationalist conservatives within the administration were strongly on board with this protectionist stance, Elon Musk publicly expressed his strong dissent, going so far as to label the president's top trade advisor as a moron and privately urging the president to reconsider his position. Musk viewed these tariffs as inherently detrimental to global supply chains and a direct threat to the international operations of his own vast companies. Although President Trump later moderated his stance slightly, ostensibly in response to concerns from volatile bond markets and prominent business leaders, Musk's initial public defiance had already sown deep seeds of mistrust and suspicion within the president's inner circle. Adding yet another complex and troubling layer to this unfolding drama are serious allegations concerning Musk's personal behavior and alleged substance use. Reports from late May 2025 suggested a heavy reliance on certain substances, particularly ketamine, to the point where it was allegedly causing tangible health issues, specifically bladder problems, which is a known side effect of chronic ketamine use. These reports also claimed his use of other substances, including ecstasy and psychedelic mushrooms, and hinted at a pattern of carrying various pills, including Adderall, in a daily pill box. While Musk publicly admitted to using prescription ketamine for depression, telling a journalist in 2024 that he used a small amount biweekly, he vehemently denied ongoing illicit substance use, dismissing the broader reports as false and accusing the New York Times of lying their ass off. Despite Musk's firm denials, President Trump reportedly grew increasingly alarmed by these allegations. Following the public feud with Musk, President Trump privately inquired with his aides whether Musk's noticeable change in behavior could be attributed to his alleged drug use. According to a source cited by the Washington Post, Trump privately referred to Musk as a big-time drug addict in conversations with confidants. These profound concerns about Musk's alleged substance use were cited as a key factor in the deepening and seemingly irreparable rift between the two men. The physical altercation and the drug allegations became inextricably entwined with another curious and highly scrutinized public appearance by Elon Musk. Just days before the full gory details of the White House brawl finally spilled out into the public domain, Elon Musk appeared at a press conference alongside President Trump, sporting a very noticeable black eye.
When pressed by reporters about the injury, he offered a seemingly playful and somewhat unconventional explanation, stating that his 5-year-old son had punched him after he had encouraged him to do so. However, this explanation was met with widespread skepticism by many, including influential political commentators like Steve Bannon, who openly questioned whether a young child could inflict such a prominent and clearly visible mark. President Trump himself later commented on the black eye, stating that he had noticed it before the press conference and had even gone so far as to offer Musk makeup to conceal it, an offer which Musk apparently refused. Some insiders and observers believe that this very public revelation by the president further enraged Musk, pushing their already strained relationship squarely onto an open warpath.
The implications of this escalating feud extend far beyond mere personal animosity or political jostling. They have had significant and measurable financial repercussions. At one point, Elon Musk's primary company, Tesla, a global leader in electric vehicles, saw its stock valuation soar to unprecedented heights, briefly touching the monumental $1 trillion mark. This impressive surge was partly attributed by market analysts to the prevailing perception that Elon Musk was a direct beneficiary of President Trump's return to power, and that his companies would thrive under such an administration. However, as the relationship between the two powerful figures began to visibly sour, and as Musk publicly distanced himself from the president, investors watched anxiously, and the market reacted sharply. The immediate result was a dramatic plunge. Tesla's stock fell by over 14%, wiping out more than $150 billion in its market value in a single period. Between January and June of the relevant year, the stock slid significantly from $426 down to $284, a stark and undeniable illustration of how deeply political alliances, or their dramatic unraveling, can directly impact and even dictate corporate valuations and investor confidence. What began as a big, beautiful bromance, as some observers had initially dubbed the alliance, rapidly transformed into a full-blown public quarrel. From his initial moniker as the First Buddy and a public declaration of effusive affection for President Trump, Elon Musk abruptly morphed into a vocal and often scathing critic. He went so far as to publicly claim that President Trump would have lost his political battles without his personal support, dropped a serious and controversial accusation involving the president and sensitive Epstein files, and even publicly called for impeachment proceedings against him. In direct response to these escalating criticisms, President Trump moved from expressing mere disappointment to threatening to cut off billions of dollars in crucial federal funding and subsidies to Elon Musk's various companies, funds that had historically amounted to some $38 billion over the preceding 2 decades. President Trump publicly stated he was very surprised and very disappointed by Musk's unexpected and sharp criticism. Elon Musk, in turn, appeared to soften his tone slightly after these significant financial threats, even deleting a previous controversial post. However, President Trump later emphatically indicated he had no desire whatsoever to reconcile, stating he was too busy doing other things to engage with Musk. This dramatic and ongoing turn of events has also seen Elon Musk hinting, and in some cases actively suggesting, a foray into independent politics. He has even gone as far as to suggest the potential formation of an entirely new political entity, possibly named the America Party. This bold move, if it truly materializes, would further cement his complete separation from the current political establishment and potentially introduce another profoundly disruptive force into an already tumultuous political landscape. The entire saga has been a constant source of speculation and leaks, with consistent reports from within the White House indicating a focused and deliberate effort to highlight Elon Musk's perceived shortcomings, including detailed reports of his poor relationship with key figures like President Trump's chief of staff, Susie Wiles, whom he reportedly treated dismissively, almost like a secretary.
While this particular feud undeniably captures headlines and dominates public discourse, it is crucial to remember that the inherent tension and occasional outright clashes between political power and immense private wealth are by no means a new phenomenon. History is replete with countless examples of powerful figures, ranging from influential industrialists to powerful media moguls, clashing fiercely with presidents over critical policy decisions and the extent of their influence. However, the uniquely public nature of this particular spat, playing out in real time across ubiquitous social media platforms like X and Truth Social, truly sets it apart from historical precedents. It serves as a compelling and very contemporary reminder that in the high-stakes arena of politics, alliances can be remarkably fragile. And personal grievances, when amplified by powerful public platforms, can indeed lead to unforeseen, dramatic, and often financially impactful consequences. The future of this contentious relationship between Elon Musk and Donald Trump remains highly unpredictable, marked by uncertainty. As of the latest reports, President Trump shows no inclination whatsoever to mend fences or seek reconciliation, and Elon Musk continues to navigate the choppy waters of public opinion and complex political maneuvering. What initially began as a strategic alliance, presumably for a mutual benefit, has dramatically dissolved into a very public spectacle, offering a fascinating, if cautionary, lesson on the inherent volatility that arises when powerful personalities and vast financial interests directly collide with the intricate machinery of government. It truly is a testament to the unpredictable and ever-evolving nature of power dynamics in our modern era. Thank you for joining me on Financial Podcast. I'm Olivia, and I look forward to exploring more of these intricate connections between finance, power, and the ever-unfolding human drama in our next episode. Until then, take care.